I may be a bum, but I'm not dumb. It's time for Bum Knowledge Corner. Hello, YouTubers. I'm the Car Bum, and this is my corner. And today on Knowledge Corner, I'm going to be talking about Madonna and how she's a little underappreciated. If you don't know anything about Madonna, she came out in the 80s, and she is a musician. Her first album, which was named just simply Madonna, simple enough, it came out in 1983. She has 192 songs. The first one that came out was in 1982 called Everybody. Um, she, she has had number one hits in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. The only other people that have had similar things is Michael Jackson and Weird Al. Interesting. The top 10. According to Google, she has 38 top 10s, but I don't know which top 10s they're talking about, so I'm not entirely certain about that, but she's had a lot of good stuff. Now, you may be wondering, okay, she's one of the world's greatest musicians. Why are you saying that she's underappreciated? Well, I'm not talking about her music career today. I am going to be talking more about her film career. Now, I am using the Wikipedia, not IMDb, because IMDb has everything that she's done all in one big list, and it's really hard to weed out which ones are movies and which ones are not. IMDb also includes all of her music videos and a part of the list as well, and that's just further muddies the what I'm trying to focus on here. So, according to this, she has 60 or 46 um, feature films, 15 short films, 3 theatrical plays, 10 television spots, and 17 commercials. Not pretty respectable. But when you look at the wiki and focus more on the stuff, you realize that there's only 19 movies total. She also has 4 other credits, or 4 other movies that she's credited as either executive producer, um, she writer, or directed. Sometimes multiple on each one of those 4 movies. But these are her 19 actual movies that she was in. There are 5 cameos. 5, right? Yeah. And surprisingly, most of these she's actually the starring member. So not 60 or not 46 movies in total, just 19. The other ones that fall under the featured releases are 4 documentary films and 18 concert films. And like I said before, if you look on IMDb, she has like 200 credits because it also includes all of her music videos. The first movie I'm going to be talking about is probably the one that she is most known for, and that is A League of Their Own. It came out in 1992. Her name is May. I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name because that's definitely not something I can read. Um, uh, Otherwise known as All the Way May, for a number of reasons. She plays opposite of Rosie O'Donnell back when she was big in movies as well. She plays the sexual character, of course, because it's Madonna at that time period, and she did very well like that. Um, but she is just like so sexualized that there's even this funny little comment that a little preacher that she was in the confessional booth with ends up dropping his Bible twice because of all the sins that she was confessing. She's also on the cover of the movie, and I think that she plays a very minor role in the movie. Not definitely not like a star, but I think it's she was on the cover of the movie because of um her star power in just regular media or in just regular culture at the time. You know, because there's another character that probably should have been the character that would be the other sister that's on the cover, because we have Tom Hanks, the one sister, and then we should have had the other sister, because that is the core dynamic in the movie, is the two sisters competing with one another. But overall, she's oh, and if you don't know what the movie in general is about, it's about the women's league that started up during World War II because of all the men were at war and nobody was at home playing baseball, so they decided, so the leagues, the big league owners decided that they would have a female league for a short while the men were at war. Um, yeah. Okay, so the next movie we're going to be talking about is happened a little bit earlier in her career. Um, Birds. Happened earlier, but I just want to get this one out of the way because it's the one that she's the movie that is most famous out of all the ones today. And I'll get to that when we in a little bit. The next movie is Who's That Girl, and that came out in 1987. The character she plays is Nikki Finn, and the movie itself is complicated. In the cartoon intro or prologue of the movie, which I really miss those. I wish they would bring them back because they were fun. They gave the movie character in a very short amount of time. But in the prologue, she gets arrested, and upon release, she is picked up by this man called Loudon Trot. And she essentially ends up kidnapping him in the effort of clearing her name of the charge. She was arrested because the police pulled her over for speeding, had her pop the trunk, only to find that her boyfriend was cut up into itty bitty pieces, I believe is the phrase that she used. In her trunk, and so it's like, it's your car, it's your trunk, you're going to jail. Like, okay. Midway through the movie, they kind of explain the overall plot. Her boyfriend, which was the guy that was in the trunk, uh, took some pictures of some shady dealings, put those pictures in a safety deposit box, gave the key to Nikki, told the pimp and the fat man, that's how they are actually referred to in the movie, the bank and the safety deposit box number, and then of course they end up killing him, throwing him into her trunk, and she gets arrested for murder because of it. So throughout the entire movie, it's just her trying to get the information, to get the evidence to clear her name. It's and that's the simple part of the movie. Everything else is just pure, unadulterated chaos. I would classify her as a Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but since she is definitely the star and not here to help Loudon out with his issues, but she ends up doing that anyways. Um, I guess a more appropriate term would be a pure force of nature. because the things that she does is she's a petty theft. There's like four scenes where she just grabs something off of the table, and she also goes buys a gun. She ends up taming a cat, a Pantagonian Felis color, which is just a regular old cougar, but they wanted to give it a little bit more exoticness about the movie, so they gave it a special subbreed. And there's only supposed to be like 12 left in the world, or something like that. 12, 12, 20. I don't remember the exact number. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I did see it the first chance I got when it like popped up on YouTube. YouTube movies. I was like, yes, I get to see it again because it is one of my favorite movies of all time. And on top of her chaos, there's the poor car. This car went from such a beautiful thing to an absolute to being absolutely destroyed, and it has the most recognizable honk that you will ever know, and it is permanently ingrained in my brain because it's just so freaking funny and good. So that's it for Who's That Girl. This is probably her most, or this is probably the most complicated while not being complicated storyline she has. Uh, or at least of the four films that I've seen. The next film of which is going to be Dick Tracy. She goes by Breathless Mahoney. I love old comic book names. They are so stupid and perfect at the same time. But in this movie, she plays a like the head lounge singer or performer. I don't really know technically. She basically has a troupe that gets that she's part of, and she's basically the head one. She ends up playing a kind of opposite of both the bad guy, who is named Big Boy, and opposite of Dick Tracy, resisting him because of his, or resisting Big Boy because of, he's a criminal, but resisting Dick Tracy because he's a good guy and she kind of likes him and all that other type of stuff. And it's kind of not entirely certain if, because she does have a secondary role in here, but you should probably go see the movie yourself. And with the secondary role, it's a little uncertain exactly how much of a good person she is or not. It's a little unclear. But there's nothing really much to her character outside of the little twist that they have. She's a singer, she has to put up with this guy, and that's about it. Now I'm going to come across her greatest role of all time, Evita. In it, she plays the title character, Evita Peron, or Eva, depending on, what point of the movie it is. And she plays opposite of Antonio Banderas, whose name is Che, who's supposed to be like the everyman of the movie. Because she's the overall, it's the story of Eva Peron, a Argentinian um, lady who went from rags to riches and basically reformed the entire nation. So it's a good movie. This movie is also was also got good awards from the Academy Awards. It had four nominees that she didn't win, and one for best musical, or best music, not musical, just for the song. And the Golden Globes, she was there was two nominees that she didn't win, and then she the three wins that they did have is Best Motion Picture, Best Actress for a comedy or musical. I guess they're the same thing. Um, and Best Original Song. So that's pretty freaking cool. Um, and this is one of those movies that you just could not escape from during that time period. Like if you were alive and not in the middle of nowhere, you were going to hear about this movie. It blew up so big, and the Simpsons even did a parody of it when Lisa Simpson decided that she was going to be class president, and it's an obvious little parody, and it good episode too. But it's really weird because it's just not talked about anymore. Like there's movies like Gone with the Wind that people still talk about, and other movies like that. But let's look at another movie that's a little bit more closer to home, and that would be the Mask of Zorro that came out in 1998. Basically, Antonio Banderas' next big movie, and that one got 2 Academy Award nominees and 2 Global Globe nominees, and no wins. And that's just kind of weird, because it's like because we still talk about Zorro. I don't know if it's because it has a longer um cinematic heritage, since there was also the Zorro from the like 80s or whatever, or the not the 80s but the 60s or something like that. Uh back in the back on the edge of the black and white era and the color era of television, or if it's because it had a really crappy sequel. Well, not really crappy, but it had a kind of like a lackluster sequel. Um, but I don't know why Avita just kind of disappeared after the 2000s. Like, it went from one of the biggest crazes in the 90s to just disappearing from social culture, or the you know from public culture altogether. And it's a shame because it was a good movie. So yeah, that's basically yeah. Um, so that's Madonna and her movie career. At one point she did get a Razzie. I only figured this out because I was looking at her things and I was trying to classify whether or not they were like if she was the star of the movie or a supporting actor. And there was one where it was just like, and as I was reading the thing, it did mention that she got a Razzie on it, and but the movie itself was pretty insane. It was like three. It was like an anthology, but they were all connected through like individual people. So it's so I don't know if that had to do anything with it. I'd never seen the movie. I never heard of the movie before today. Um, or before doing research for this little project, but yeah, Madonna is underappreciated for her movie career. She Most of the movies that I've seen her in, she actually is from does her part exactly how she should be doing her part. She's not like trying to overthink. Oh, another thing about Evita is that there was a rumor or something that she was actually taking singing lessons to do the part better, because she was never traditionally trained as a singer. So she had to do that to do it better. And if nowadays, if you told like Eminem that he had to take proper music lessons to do something, he'd be like, "I am a fantastic singer." It would probably be something stupid like that. But I don't know if that was a real fact or if that was just like a rumor thing going about. But it is kind of a cool thing if it was real, It's just like she actually was like, "Yeah, I don't need no pride." um, and yeah, so that's Madonna and her movie career. I think it doesn't get enough credit as it enough credit at all. Okay, I'm the car bum. Now get off my corner.